Huh?
Rolling here.
You just gotta do the clap. Clap us in.
Yes, sir. Clap us in is crazy. That one is wild.
Episode 3.
All right, boys. Whenever you're ready.
All right. Welcome to the pod, JOGATALKS. We're back in it. We got a new studio here. Shout out to Landmark Productions. Nah, just kidding. Wait. Yeah, run it back.
Yeah.
Nah, leave it on, bro.
You
Can't leave it.
can't tap, bro. You can't tap your leg.
Can't
The
tap.
whole place is vibrating.
Yo, you're edging me off.
Your legs weigh 50 pounds each,
not
cuz.
Nah, you gotta keep this,
Yeah,
bro.
you gotta keep
What's
it.
the
You
name
gotta
of your
keep
hit? It's hidden.
You gotta keep it. You gotta keep me. Yo, no.
Hidden Valley.
Hidden Valley,
bro. That's why I should do this, bro.
Hidden Valley Productions. Hidden Valley Entertainment. Nah, we're all we've known each other for a while. Some of us, these are new connections through basketball, through life. Man, I love it. I love connecting people, and this is what we got to do with this podcast more and more. I'm excited to do this. Beyond that, we're gonna get lots of fun guests on here, and today we have the infamous Elliott Cuthbert. I'm gonna say that again, Cuthbert, because you're gonna hear that name a lot. This guy is doing a lot of amazing stuff. We're gonna go over that. We're gonna talk about his backstory a little bit. He's gonna tell us how he met myself. Him and D recently, are connecting a bit more. D is gonna get to know about him a little bit. What do you got to say, D? You excited for this pod?
Yes, sir. First off, round of applause for Elliott. You know what I'm saying? Welcome.
Thank you.
Clap him in.
We're excited.
Thank you.
He's doing great things in his own personal life, and yeah, man, I'm excited to get going. I'm excited to know more about him. Play our fun little game, and just go from there, man. Let's get it going.
It's a beautiful day. It's hot outside. We got the Canada game later. First semifinal in the Copa America.
Huge.
Let's get right into things. Elliott, what do you got to say about yourself? Tell us a little bit about yourself for the people that don't know. Obviously, I know. D wants to know more. What can you say?
I hate these types of questions, so general. I don't even know where to start. Well, first off, let me just say thank you guys for having me on this podcast. Obviously, I'm honored, to be the first of many. Respect.
The handshake there.
Yeah, of course. We're out here. We made the trip to Vancouver. We're starting off this whole podcast journey with the boys, and we're excited. We're all new to this online life, and we're gonna take it seriously. We're gonna try to do what we can, inspire as many people as we can, and yeah, man. Like as I say all the time in my videos, our goal is to inspire the next up and comings. Like the kids coming behind us, and hopefully they can be better than we ever were. So. Yeah, let's do it.
Well said. So, what can you say about, obviously we won't go back to day 1, day 0, day none, but just give a little brief story time. We like the story times. That's a me and you thing right there.
Of course.
We're not making music right now, but that may be later. Maybe at some point on another pod. But yeah, give us a little story time about just you. Let's just say how you started your passion for footy, and that obviously ushered into a million other things that you're going to talk about, but just talk about a little bit about that, the upbringing.
So, born in Victoria, British Columbia, North American city, a little bit secluded on a little island, but it is a footballing city. It's a footballing island. The culture is very much football when it comes to sport, and I have an older brother. I have my father in my life. I'm grateful. And they both played football before me. My dad played in Trinidad. He moved over to the States for university, and he played football all his life. My brother obviously, followed after him, and I obviously followed suit as well. And yeah, I've been playing football my whole life. Grew up in the system in North America. BC team, Whitecaps, which is one of our MLS teams here in Canada. Went through the youth program, got released at a young age, and it was sort of a little earthquake for me when I was a kid, because I wasn't used to, I didn't really understand failure. So that first sort of major failure, being cut from a professional environment, was sort of a loud lesson for me, but I wasn't aware of it at the time. That happened, moved back to my hometown of Victoria, British Columbia, and continued football, but I sort of started to experience a little bit of a little bit of the other side of life, you know, like from going from competitive sport to the, you know, extravagant, exuberant, bright light side of life, you know, the school social life, parties and all this other stuff. Lived a little bit of that, and then a year after that I started going back and forth from here to Europe to experience football at a high level in a completely different world, as I like to call it. Football is it's like night and day comparing football in Europe to here. And that was another, you know, great experience for me, I'll say. And it just led to a lot of the things that I'm doing now. I have an academy now. I run a little bit of an online school mentorship program. And I've just basically applied some of the things that I've learned from failure to sort of what I teach now and what I impart on my youngers in my academy. And it sort of turned into this thing. And as I said, I'm grateful, you know?
Yo, that's it right there, bro. Honestly, I was going to ask you this eventually, but the fact that you just said failure and how you learn from it, I don't know if you know, but I also have an academy. We'll talk about that more later.
Yeah.
But my slogan or whatever, my statement is just fail forward.
Beautiful.
And that's the main thing that I try to like preach to everyone. Personal training, group training, camps, clinics, whatever I'm doing is always just like, you got to approach failure the right way and not be like, and just know how to like deal with it. You know what I'm saying? Like learn from it and grow from it.
Absolutely.
That's the whole thing. It's on the bio, it's on the websites everywhere. Like I just want to make that a statement so people like can change the narrative around the world, like failing, and just change like how they approach it and how they deal with it like after they fail. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just like an example in like basketball terms, like okay, like you miss a shot. Like I use this all the time. Like you miss a shot and like you judge a shot based on like where it went. So for example, did I miss left? Did I miss right? You don't just be like, oh, I suck because I missed.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's a different way to approach it. So I just like how you mentioned that, how you touched on that. We'll get more into it later for sure once we start talking about academies and stuff, and we'll go on. But we want to transition to our favorite part of the pod. It's a little game we play.
Okay.
It's called Blind Rankings. I don't know if you've seen it online, seen other podcasts. For the people that have watched before, you know how it works. But basically, we're going to give you we're going to give you a topic and then 5 different subtopics, and you're going to have to rank them blindly. So, for example, this won't be the topic. Let's just a quick run. So, Premier League teams. So, for example, I'm gonna say Man City. You're going to have to rank 1 through 5 without having to know the next 4.
Crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You get it? So we got a random topic. It's not necessarily related to any of the stuff we're going to talk about. We just wanted to kind of lighten the mood, give us some different. So the topic we came up with is actresses. This guy.
Yeah. I'm gonna need my boy to help me with this one.
He's gonna start getting them intrusive thoughts.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need my boy to help me with this one.
Okay, bet. We got it. We're clear.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
It's just quick fire.
Just quick fire, and then afterwards we will discuss. So like I'm gonna go 1 through 5. You're gonna have like 5 to 10 seconds for each one. Once we go through the whole thing, you're gonna realize, oh, was that a good rank? And then we'll discuss. Okay. So we don't want to discuss in between. We'll discuss right after.
If I don't know who it is, then you guys can give me a little insight.
Yes. All right.
You got your phone ready. Maybe show me a picture. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's what I was gonna do that too.
Or the sex tape. You know what I mean?
That's crazy.
Bleep.
Okay,
You
first
have to
one.
wear the glasses for that one. Wait, I just gotta interrupt here. If you have tuned into the previous episodes, you know about the glasses. If you haven't, then you already know what I'm gonna say. You gotta lock in. You gotta lock TF in. I'm not gonna say profanities on this pod.
Can I cuss?
We're gonna keep it. We can't cuss.
Can't cuss.
We can't cuss. It's like being back at Janine, being back at Kimberly. We can't cuss, right? 'Cause we're gonna get a death Oz to the head for the rent. So you gotta put these on.
Oh, we're actually putting these on.
Whenever you say something very cooked, Elliot, you got to put on the glasses for a little bit. You can decide when they come off, or we'll just, you know what I mean? We'll decide it unanimously. But
I like that.
All right.
That was pretty cooked. So
keep me in check.
Let's get to it. First one. Yo, I don't know how to say this, but you gotta say this first one, bro.
Desde México, la reina, Salma Hayek.
God.
defining age.
3. I'm just gonna smack her
3?
right in the middle.
Oh, that's not bad. That's
I'm
not
gonna
bad.
smack
Right in the
her
middle.
right in the middle.
That's a little,
Second
it's
one?
disrespect, but it's not though. You know,
Yes.
3 is
Yeah,
solid.
yeah.
Hey, she's what is she cracking on 60 or something?
You know she's my
looks
type.
damn good.
You know she's my type.
Second
too.
one.
Oh, I know.
You know I like them older ones too. Shut up, my girl. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
no, yeah.
Give me the other glasses. Give me the
Yeah,
other
you
glasses.
can wear it too, bro. You put one on the
Both is
back.
crazy.
You dig?
Oh
no.
man. Okay, second one, Margot Robbie.
I'm gonna have to go. Oh, she would have been a perfect 3. I'm gonna have to go 2.
Okay, I respect
Above.
that. I respect that. Third
4's a
one,
little
Jennifer
low.
Lawrence.
Oh, I'm gonna have to go 4.
Oh, he's leaving 1 and 5, bro. Seen this before. Second to last, Scarlett Johansson.
Wow. Who's the last name?
I knew this was gonna be
You
a
go
red.
1, hey?
I knew this one would be a red.
It's the lips, huh?
Black Widow.
That's good.
Don't start picturing her in the Marvel movies, all right?
You guys are
Don't do
gonna
that
you guys
right
are gonna give
now.
me
Don't
an
do that right
L,
now.
hey, for the last
Don't
one.
do that right
I
now.
don't know, bro.
I'm gonna go 1 just to stay safe.
Oh, you're gonna go 1? Last one, Jessica Alba.
True.
It's gotta go 5.
I'll go 5. Yeah,
Yeah?
I mean, yeah.
You
Actually,
like
that's
that?
not terrible for you.
That's not bad.
terrible.
That's not
such a
bad.
good
That's not
list,
bad.
bro.
Good.
Okay, just for a recap, he went Scarlett Johansson first.
Yeah.
Margot Robbie second.
That's
Salma
fair.
Hayek third.
Salma, that's a little bit of disrespect.
Jennifer
but she
Lawrence
will-
3,
agree.
and Jessica Alba 5.
Would you-
Honestly,
Would
I'm
you
not
change
happy with
anything?
that.
What would
I'm
you
honestly
change?
happy
What would
with
you
that.
change?
I'm honestly not mad at. Honestly, for me, I would only change 1 and 2.
Really?
Margot Robbie with Scarlett Johansson.
Sure, you like them blonde, and you know what I'm saying? Okay, say less.
Yo, I'm
She
just
does
saying.
like
I'm
the
not saying I got a
blondes.
type. I'm not
We
saying I got a
we
type.
might be putting some undisclosed.
Yo,
information
this is
here,
going on
but
the internet. You understand? Huh?
He does. He likes the blondes.
Yo,
He
this
does.
guy.
He
I didn't
does.
say anything. I didn't say it was true or not.
They
I'm just
tricked
saying.
me. They
Out
tricked
of
me.
this
Ladies.
list. Out of
Salma
this list.
Hayek,
I love them
perdón,
all.
te amo.
Yep.
No sé por qué te puso tercero.
Yo,
don't know why.
what I
Now
might
he's showing
do.
off. Now he's showing
What I
off.
might
I'm not
do
showing off. I gotta
is
say
switch
sorry to her.
Salma with Jennifer or Scarlett Johansson too.
I might put her 1.
I'll put Salma second,
I might put you
and
1.
then Scarlett Johansson third. I don't mind that.
If this was 10 years ago, I'm putting her.
But Margot's first for
putting
you
her. I'm
firm.
putting her 1.
I think Margot's first for me firm, bro.
What is it?
Who?
What is it that she does to you?
So, well, I don't know. That's a little bit loud.
No.
No, it's a
Don't be
good
weird. It's
question.
only
It's a
weird
good
if you make it
question.
weird.
Thank you. Thank you.
I think it's just like the way they portray her in the movies.
Yeah.
I think they just portray
Because she's the same in every movie.
same.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Beautiful personality.
Beautiful
He's not
personality.
her.
Just the way they.
I'm not even trying to sound weird, but I saw the Barbie movie. Beautiful personality.
I haven't seen the Barbie movie yet.
Beautiful personality.
Which is crazy.
Me and this
But-
guy accidentally watched it.
Accidentally. How's
That's
that
Wait,
possible?
no, that's serious. We actually. No, okay,
And we
wait.
loved it, though.
Hey,
That's
wait,
why-
hold
I was
up,
gonna say,
hold
what?
up. Can we do a little story? Can I do a little story time?
Please.
So, from the beginning of time of me and Elliot's
This guy
relationship,
went to like medieval.
we
time.
You better say what I think you're about to say.
no, man. We love movies. Both of us love movies.
Yep.
We used to go to the movie theater, Silver City to be exact. We go in there. We only had enough money for one movie on a Tuesday.
Oh,
We
Cheap
go to
Tuesday?
a matinee like
Ooh.
1 o'clock. We bring in all the snacks, stuff them in the hoodie, and we do 3-4 movies in a row. So that was our tradition. We walk out,
Easy.
legs dead. You remember those days?
Yo, Victoria Cheap Movie Night. If you don't know, Tuesdays.
Nah, but
Gotta
only the
hit it
real
up.
ones can run back to back to back to
Back to
back.
back.
Easy.
We sit in the back.
Yo, we're
they
there
don't
till, like,
know- they
midnight.
don't know who's got a ticket
Light
or
work.
not.
Yeah, we're there till like
I'm sorry,
midnight.
Mom.
Oh.
Like watching the movies.
Absolutely. Last one, 10:45. Get out at 2 a.m. Boom.
I
It's
like
perfect. It's perfect.
Then
It's
go,
perfect.
You go home, then
You
you
go
go
rap.
Then you go make tracks. You play Fatal all night.
You dig?
Play some FIFA.
You know, you
Some
know.
Figa,
Okay,
Figa,
okay.
Figa.
That's good. That's good.
That's not bad.
Yo, by the way, we haven't mentioned this on the pod, but we have we have a nationally ranked FIFA player. He's definitely a ranked basketball player, but he's also a ranked FIFA player.
So they don't know.
right here.
Alright.
So just because that
Yo, I'm
just gave
watching
me
now.
that
I'm
train of
watching now. I'm
thought.
watching now. Don't put that pressure now, bro. I'm watching now.
This guy got invited to the tournament. He could have went
I did.
esports. He
I
could have
did.
went sports or esports. And I don't know. We
Sports?
don't know. He could go back. He can flip it.
Yo,
on
I
him.
think I'm bringing it back. I was gonna tell you, bro. I gotta get back on the FIFA grind. When I'm back in Vic, I got the PS5 now.
100.
You know what I'm saying?
Man.
I just gotta
Them
start grinding
COVID days
again.
were different when
I was-
we were on the
I was
FIFA
on the
grind
list, bro.
every day.
We'll go back.
That was like
We'll
a
bring
9
it
to
back.
5.
We'll bring it back.
It's
Bro, I
like a
remember
9 to 9.
We'll bring it
COVID
back.
times. Me and this guy, bro, hopping on the call.
That's crazy.
Eusebio?
Schools,
Yeah, when this guy packed
Zoom on the
Eusebio, that was
side.
crazy.
Eusebio?
We
Oh
were
my
turning
Yeah,
up
yeah.
like
He
a-
was on the call when
It
I
was
packed
like-
Eusebio.
yeah,
It was
yeah.
like a gender reveal. We were like doing flips, jumping up and
Okay.
down, jumping out the window.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Bro, I started a TikTok account, bro. I don't know if anyone
On
knows that. I
FIFA?
started a TikTok account.
this guy
And I
was
was posting my
streaming.
pack openings.
Yo.
Remember the icon, bro? To this day, I got
This guy
like
started
Cruyff,
early, man.
Maradona or something, and I was like going crazy. Got like 50,000 views. whatever. I was like,
That's
okay,
crazy.
this is it.
That's
And then I just stopped posting. I was
Yeah,
like,
you only need like Gold Rashford though.
yeah, only
That's one of our
Yeah,
biggest
those-
regrets, not streaming during COVID.
Bro,
Dude,
that-
we would have gone viral. Easy.
viral. Bro, I started Twitch. Remember we streamed
Easy.
Easily.
because we didn't have obviously the equipment, but like I wanted to stream and like go because that's all I did. So
If
was
I
like,
had known,
why
if
not?
I,
we have those
if I had
subscriptions,
this
remember that? We have
mentality,
those
if I had this hustler's mentality,
then.
bro, I
Bro.
would have bought the equipment.
I think
I'm
about
dead
that
serious.
100%.
Because now I believe in not wasting time.
Yeah, 100%.
Whatever you're doing, just do it to
Do
the
it.
best of your ability.
Yeah.
Young kids out there, it doesn't
100%.
matter what
Fail
you
forward.
do. Do whatever you want, but just do it to the best of your ability. Do it as
Fail
best as you
forward.
can.
Yeah.
Understand? Fail
100%.
forward, exactly.
And the
Beautiful.
thing with the internet too, it's like, bro, like anyone can go viral. Anyone can blow up.
Anybody.
All it takes is one video too. It's like, bro, I've seen it. You post one reel, like reels are popping, TikTok's
Right.
popping, and then all of a sudden I've seen people firsthand, friends of mine that have done
Exactly.
that. It's like, okay, like why not?
Exactly.
I wish I streamed too. Like
Exactly.
if I had this mentality back then, I would have just tried new things
true.
too.
That's why we're here right now. We popping.
Yeah.
This is popping up in here. I can feel the tension in here because there's so much goodness.
Goodness,
Um,
it's crazy.
We're gonna move on here. So we did that blind ranking because that was all funny games, right? You like that, Elliot?
I like
Good.
that.
We need feedback. We always need feedback. I think it's fun.
That's good.
Right? Me and D enjoy that.
That's
Me
a
and D
good.
enjoy
I
that
was better
one.
than I expected too.
That was a good
That was
topic.
a-
I thought
that
you
was
were
a
going to put
good
me
one.
on blast, but
Yeah.
it's all good.
No, we had to
Back.
spice it up a little bit. So now we're gonna get into the heaviness, the thick of it. You're a footy player by blood. You know, your dad breathed it every day, still breathes it. I bet he'd still be playing at the highest level if he could. You know what I mean? If his body allowed it. So you have a good understanding of Canadian soccer, or sorry, on the West Coast from your experience. You've been in it your whole life, and it's, you know what I mean? Like you said, from a young age, it's all you knew really, until, you know what I mean? You're like, okay, let's experience some other things in life. You mentioned on that. So you're the best person to ask, especially on the West Coast. What are your thoughts on the current state of Canadian soccer? We talk about it all the time. I have to say soccer because we're in Canada. We know it's football. We know it's the real football. But we have these debates all the time. It's fun. Obviously, it's a good time to talk about it right now. We're seeing some success with the national team. Hopefully, we pull out that win later. We'll do some predictions a little bit later in the pod. But what are your thoughts how we're moving forward just as a country, as a nation with this sport?
So let me just start off by saying that I'm not going to go ahead and make any assumptions. Talk about this all the time. Never assume, right? It's one of the 4 agreements. Never make assumptions. But I don't feel, as a football fan myself, as a football player, as a football mentor, as a football connoisseur, as a football lover, I don't feel that we are investing enough into the sport. And I also don't understand why we don't. I think that Canada Soccer, with Alfonso at the helm, Alfonso at the front, I'm not going to lie, I have been just absolutely devouring my work and my studies and my businesses that I'm building at the moment. So I haven't really been paying attention to football as much as I'd like to, but I forgot the name of our head coach. Sorry, he is at the helm. Let me put respect where it's due. But led by Alfonso Davies, I don't understand how what we've done in the last couple of years in football isn't proof enough that if we were to invest more into the Canadian infrastructure of football, we could soar. Canada is one of the most underrated footballing nations, I think, out there.
Let me ask you something on that, because I know I'm
When it comes to love and passion.
Yes, 100%. Because I'm from Brazil, right? For people who don't know, and we have the same issue with basketball. It's just flipped, because soccer in Brazil is
King, of course.
it's the king. It's the top of the top, right? Like if
Brazil.
we breathe,
Brazil.
we live, we do everything revolving around soccer and the sport. So like for us, it's the same thing with basketball. Now it's starting to grow. Now my point with soccer in Canada is coming from a city and like São Paulo and a country like Brazil is, do you think there's like factors that play a role in that? As in, my mind goes to some places in Canada, you can't play year-round soccer outside. I'm just generalizing. And obviously there's ways around that, but I'm just saying like a lot of people go into like, oh, like it's always cold or it's snowing or
No.
it's this and that. So a lot of people make those excuses.
No.
What do you think, like, in your opinion, because you've seen it more than me, obviously, and like what, like, one, are those excuses valid? I kind of already know the answer to that. And two, like, what are the ways around it? Obviously, there's indoors and stuff like that, but like, how do you keep growing this? Because obviously it's working, right? Semifinal Copa America, World Cup appearance for the first time. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's growing.
It's culture.
Yeah.
It's cultural. Those excuses are not valid.
Yeah,
it's like a business, for example. If you were to sacrifice in the beginning, okay, and if you were to put 10 years, all of your money, all of your resources towards building something that is flawless, borderline, okay, then it will produce for you for generations. Like it says in the Bible, right? Build your field, okay? And for me, I believe that if we were to just set up our infrastructure once, build a bunch of indoor facilities, you know, invest in coaching workshops, and if we were to just tilt the narrative slightly towards football, a little bit more than it is now, I think that would set off a ripple effect that would turn Canada into a honestly footballing giant and footballing competitor. And I think we would be able to compete with anybody. But I think the issue is, and I don't want to get controversial on this podcast, but I think one of the issues is
controversial, please.
Well, I think one of the issues is like hockey, for example.
Yeah.
Why would they let
I agree.
football grow?
Yeah.
Why?
That's my next question. Is like, I would say like right now, hockey.
They could give a flying,
yes.
sorry,
Yes.
a flying French about football. So why would they allow football to grow?
Yes.
What would we do? Compete when it comes to how many indoor facilities there are, football and hockey? Football would blow hockey out of the water in 10 seconds.
Yeah.
10 years as opposed to 100 that would take another industry. Right? So why would they allow? I think there are political things going on when it comes to
I've never looked at it that way. Obviously, it's, you know what I mean, it does get patriotic in that way. It gets that way with the funding from the government. Obviously, they're going to fund towards hockey. It's part of the heritage. I mean, man, well, we have a hockey rink outside the Parliament building, the Fed building. So, you know what I mean, we don't have a footy field. I think what you're saying is completely true. It is all cultural. From a business standpoint, I don't know why it wouldn't make sense for us to build the infrastructure. Like, investment-wise, it's going to return for sure. If you're looking at it from another angle, to kind of occupy people, we have all this, you know, this problem with mental. I'm not saying football is going to solve mental health, but a lot of people who have some issues about being lost, they don't have, you know, something to follow. So some people say, you know what I mean, religion, you got to find a drive in something. Football is a religion. You go to Europe, you go elsewhere, you go to Brazil, like that's your whole life, right? So I guarantee if we built a culture like that, you know what I mean, people would be at the field, they'd be playing, they would be at the games.
I drive by the field in Victoria and it's empty.
Yeah, 100%.
Middle of the day,
Yes.
Victoria.
Yes.
I've been saying this for years.
Yes.
What did I say the other day? 2 days ago. I drive by Finlayson, the most brand new field.
In
There's
the
a
middle
mini
of the city.
field, empty.
No, 100%. And I think there's a lot of factors that drive that
Crickets,
too.
man.
And what's CRD doing, or whoever's doing it? They're locking up the nets when it's out of use. Like, it's small things that I'm confused about, the decisions they make.
It happens a lot with every sport too. Like, even I see, like, so for example, I'm just going to give, I know there's like, and what you said is political and stuff like that, but like what you said is fields are locked. So for example, if I'm a kid, right, and I'm trying to go play outside, so I go to Vic, for the people that don't know, and I walk by those fields every single day, like with no exception. I would say 6 out of the 7 days, that field is locked with the thing. So as a kid, it's like, what's going to motivate me to go to the field now? It's like, it's locked. They're not trying to see me become a soccer player. But now, if the only way you're going to do it is people like you, where it's like, I genuinely love the game, you'll probably jump over a fence or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Real quick.
But my point is, why does it take that?
Why does there have to be a first
you know what I'm
obstacle
saying?
in the first place? There shouldn't be an obstacle at all.
I think there's a lot of
I'm not
political
saying you
stuff
can't
too.
overcome that. I agree.
Yeah, but I think it's like, I always shift my Brazilian view where it's like, I genuinely don't think, and this is not being like a negative or anything like that because I hate being that person, but I don't think any other sport will ever take over soccer in Brazil.
Ever.
Because of the cultural importance,
Impossible.
because of the history, because of like, and I'm not saying like in Canada it's the same, but as things goes, it's like, what is Canada known for? It's a hockey country. You know what I'm saying? And it happens in every country too. It's like, what it takes a lot. It's gonna take a lot of work to actually like shift that narrative. And I'm not saying it's impossible because I don't think anything's impossible, but to get to that point, a lot of things have to change from what I see. You know what I'm saying? I think it's possible because I think if you get the right people at the top and the right people that have the right mindset towards things, you could do it. But I just think because of societal's views and like culture importance, history, whatever it is, you name it, is a country's related to a certain sport. You know what I'm saying?
I think it can be done.
I agree.
Nothing says it has to replace hockey.
Yeah,
there is place
for sure
for all of it. You've seen, like, there's so many different examples of different industries. Like, they can all coexist. Maybe, you know what I mean, there's some, you know, part of the narrative or part in the story where, you know what I mean, one gets the TV deal and one doesn't, and they're fighting for airtime or whatever. But I think there's room for all of it. I think there's a lot of people that don't have a job. It creates job. It generates revenue, and like I said, I think it's just going to occupy a lot of people, and it's going to make people happy. It promotes physical activity. So how can we go wrong here, right?
I agree. You know, and I think this is the beginning. You know,
yeah.
Canada's obviously going to be in the next World Cup. The next World Cup is obviously going to be hosted here. I think this is the start. I think it can be done. So let's see.
I was going to say, like, what does it? Two parts to this. Like, what does it take? Like, or what do you think it takes to like continue growing it? And my second one, just kind of transitioning to a point that I wanted to make, is do you think just overall thoughts on the CPL, and do you think it's a good start to like begin this like culture of soccer, as in like obviously it's a professional league in Canada. I understand from what I know in soccer, it's not like level wise, obviously nothing compared to Europe, nothing compared to like the bigger countries, but I think it's still a start. And obviously like there's rules around the CPL, like Canadian players, blah blah, like there's stuff around that's trying to breed more Canadian players from the bottom. So what does it take to continue evolving? And two, like, what are your thoughts on the CPL? Don't necessarily have to say if it's a good thing or a bad thing. It's just like, what do you think they have to do better, or what are they doing like well? You know what I mean?
The idea is solid. Of course, we needed a league here.
Yeah.
Of course, that's obvious. The idea is good, but again, it's cultural.
Yeah.
Right? There's too much greed in politics and business as a whole, and they're trying to run it like a business. It's not a business.
Yeah.
Firstly, something like the CPL couldn't make money like that because there aren't enough fans. Mm-hmm. There isn't enough passion. Yeah. The level isn't even high enough alone. Mm-hmm. I think they need to commit more.
Yeah.
I think they need to invest more. I think they need to, you know, I think they need to be more ruthless in, you know, putting their foot down and saying, we are going to make football a religion here. We are going to make football a pastime. We are going to make football part of Canadians' you know, everyday life. They need to do more. And it doesn't, when I say do more, I don't mean pump more money into it. I just believe that they need to put more, I think they need to breathe more life into football here. I think that I've experienced enough corruption and politics and just pettiness in football here to just, I don't know. I can't support the way in which they're doing it, but the idea is fantastic, of course.
100%.
Of course.
That's kind of what I assumed. I just wanted to see like what their thoughts were, because obviously you know more than I do, like in the soccer world. But
shout out to Sean Young.
Yeah, but again,
Caden,
like
Caden Martin, Gizzard Boss.
100%. Like we know people that
boys.
play. We know
they're
people
doing
that
their
play
thing.
in it. So it's like it's kind of sick to see. Like at least for me,
it's a good step.
Exactly.
It's a good first step.
I played soccer, my first sport, my first love, my first everything. And like when
Diego
I moved
could
here,
be there right now.
I know, and I transitioned. I think it's cool to see like for example, like I played with Sean, I played with you and Kobe. Like I didn't play with you guys. I played with Kobe like 2 games, but like I know Caden.
I was supposed to play. I don't remember where I was.
I know. We were like, Elliott's going, whatever. Like we're all excited. Like only so Kobe came. We're like, it's still 1-1. We came third in provincials. Like you know, but you never know. So
where was I?
I don't know, bro.
Was I in Europe?
Bro, I don't know what you were doing because you were supposed to come too. And I was thinking.
What month was that?
It's end of like.
Was it July? If it was July, I was in Europe.
Nah. It's end of that first semester because soccer season ends in like before December.
What month was that?
You had just left to go to PSI like a few months before.
Yeah, you were doing something. Because I was thinking,
you couldn't come back and play. I had to have been
in Europe.
You couldn't come back and play.
You must have been something, because I was like, we came in third, and I was like, damn, like Kobe was here. If Elliott was here, I was like, I don't know. I'm not saying we're gonna win, but like we had obviously one more chance. It's like our team was good, but like we didn't we didn't have anyone that like in the academy or stuff like that. And we had kids in Vancouver that like played like soccer all year. And like for me, it's like, bro, I'm playing basketball. A year and I'm starting. You know what I'm saying? So
I
it's
heard
like,
about that. Now
we
we're
have
going
half
crazy.
the things. Score the goal in the third place game. You know what I'm saying? Like
that's sick.
But yeah, I'm just saying like it's cool to see like people playing pro and like seeing Sean like he was closer to me than any of the other guys.
Stage,
yeah, it's kind of sick. Like and even though like everyone, if you're involved in the CPL, just hear what this guy has to say. Hopefully you can grow this because we're trying to see it become a real league too. Like I would love to see like Canada like soccer become like a big thing. You know what I'm saying? Like because I would love to go to Lanford, watch Pacific games. I've been to like a couple, and it's like it'd be a cool environment to be in and just a switch of pace too. So
I agree.
If you're hearing this, you know.
So like, we touched on how we feel footy in Canada is moving along. You know how it's progressing. I know you're a busy guy. You got a lot of stuff going on here and there. You haven't had a chance to watch too much of the games going on right now. We got the Euro and the Copa America. Canada participating for the first time. What are your overall thoughts on that? Like I know that excites me. I'm pretty sure I know it excites you. But like what are your thoughts on that? Because we never saw them in the Copa before. It was kind of something that we know Brazil and Argentina is obviously going to dominate. But we saw the USA come in sooner than us and start competing. And then starting a few years ago with this new gen of Canadian players, we started competing with those guys as well, fighting our way up. So what are your thoughts on us being a part of that now?
Well, I mean, yeah. Again, I was just having this conversation yesterday, right? And it's crazy to see. I'm so proud of those boys. Obviously I grew up playing with some of them. Won't name drop anybody. I know certain guys don't like being in the spotlight. But yeah, I'm so proud of some of those guys, because I know them, and they've just fought. They've done exactly what I'm saying Canada soccer needs. They've devoted their entire lives to football, and now they're here. So I think it is incredible. As I mentioned before, I think it's the first step in making football a powerhouse sport, one of the main sports in Canada and North America. And yeah, all I can say is hats off. Hopefully we can go even further than we are now, maybe make it to the final. And honestly,
Inshallah.
man, here's the thing, right? Like, football is a sport where it is driven by the collective, Everybody wearing a Canada jersey, everybody repping the colors in a 100-meter vicinity is a part of that team.
It's adding to the field.
Everybody in the stands
100%.
is just as responsible and feels just as accountable as those players banging the goals in, right? So to say that Argentina is going to beat Canada, but it was a nice run already, is ridiculous. Why not? Why can't we make it to the final? Why can't we win? We have players playing at the highest level. Why can't they go off and score a hat trick? Jonathan David, shout out. Right? So we'll see, man. But I'm proud of those boys, man.
Man, I'm so proud. And this is the thing I have to say.
Sorry. I know how hard it is, football. I know how hard football is as a sport. Yeah, hats off.
Yeah, so they're playing against Messi. They're playing against, like, what else is there to say? I mean, me and Diego are in the same boat that we have other countries that we represent, we rep, and we love. But I don't know how you feel, Diego. I'm sure you're similar, but I can't help but feel so proud. That's something I want to own. And even, I wouldn't even think that I would get so excited about this. I love football, of course. I want us to do well, but I was freaking out the other day at work. The game's on, we're scoring. I was screaming at work. Like you're saying, it's adding fuel to the fire. I think that's the one thing that is for sure that we were talking about in evolving the culture in Canada with football is people want to be proud. It's not like we're in a country where, how I don't think people would get behind this. Like, I think everyone would get behind this. Obviously, people want to win. Of course, you can hop on a winning bandwagon. That's easy. But I think everyone appreciates an underdog story. And when we're walking into these games and it's always, it's going to be this, the odds are tenfold against us. Argentina's just going to walk through us. You watch them go out and press for 110 minutes and they don't stop running and they're getting headbutted and they're getting, You know, I mean, people are trying to break their legs. Copa America, this was a dirty tournament. They were playing very hard. I went and watched the game a couple weeks ago. You know, we were out at the SoFi for the Brazil game. Not much going on there, but they're playing physical, right? And we're right there. We're right. It doesn't have to get to like, you know, that level of like country versus country, but that's where it started, right? That's why I think international football is so powerful. That's why we get so excited, because it's almost goes back to the roots of humans battling. You know what I mean? Doesn't mean we have to go, hopefully, war against another country, which has happened in the past. But that's our battleground, is on the football field.
Absolutely.
And I think that captivates like that feeling of us going to battle against another country. The best way is on the football pitch.
Absolutely.
So that makes me proud. I don't know about you.
A poetic approach.
Oh,
you know?
100%.
Yeah, I mean, I think like being Brazilian, it burns me to say this, but like even in like I see it in other sports too, but it just shows that football is evolving. Like Canada being in the semifinal of a soccer tournament. Like if you told someone this before the Copa, everyone, I guarantee you 100% with no fault would say you're crazy. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's good to see that, and it's like for me, it's like I watched
money on it.
I watched a lot of the Copa American games. I got some time on my hands, and like I watched that Canada Argentina game, that first one, and in the beginning, I remember I was talking to my boy Tesha, and I was like, yo, like this is gonna be like embarrassing, because I didn't know anything about Canada stuff. Like I do not follow, so I was like, yo, like just the narrative of it. I was like, well, this is gonna be bad, whatever. Bro, I watched the game, and I don't say this lately. If Canada was more clinical, and if Canada capitalized even half of their chances, they could have won that game. Yeah. And it's crazy for me to say it, because as a Brazilian fan, they played better than Brazil this whole tournament. And watching Brazil made me want to sleep. Like, it burns me to say it, but it made me want to sleep. But watching Canada is like, okay, this is sick. They have a chance. And it's like, I was watching the Argentina game, one, because I hate Argentina, two, because I wanted to cheer for Canada. So it was like a double whammy there for me. I was like, oh, damn, like, this is cool. Like, I want Canada to score. Yeah. And then Argentina scored, and I just got pissed. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I think that feeling, like, natural feeling of, like, trying to support Canada and, like, trying to grow the game is, like, where I come from. And it's like, obviously Brazil would be my number one choice to win the Copa, but now it's like I'm fully invested. Like after watching them, it was just the way they played is good football too. Like they have a good formation, they have good players, they have talented coach. They're doing the right thing, they're playing the right way, counterattack, whatever they're doing the right way, and it's just impressive. Like it's respect. Hats off, like you said.
Again, right? Like I think we could both agree that Canada have been failing forward, no?
100%. 100%.
I was just gonna say that when you mentioned that first Argentina game. I remember, like, I don't know who was listening to me talk about it. You guys know I go off on tangents about just analyzing things. I love doing that. That's why I love sport. You know what I mean? It's endless what you can analyze about a sport if you're really into it. And obviously football isn't my sport that I played personally. I enjoy playing intramurals every Monday night. Got a couple assists last night. But when I don't know who was listening to me talk about that first group stage game, but they were like, why are you so excited and so impressed and, you know what I mean, saying so many good things when you guys lost? What did we lose, 2 or 3-0? Yeah. And I was just it didn't matter about what the score was. The fact that we're dominating them physically, running harder than them, not backing down, not just letting them play with the ball, which is how you're really going to lose badly, right? The fact that we were just there, like, that made me proud as well, you know what I mean? We were getting the nerves out of the way. We'd already played that first World Cup, and everyone was like, you know, thinking Canada's going to get killed. They're in the group of death, right? We had Belgium, Morocco ended up in the semifinal. We had Croatia, just pure class all around. We'd already done that, right? And we got our nerves out, and I thought we did amazing in that first game. So I think we really have a chance today. And if we capitalize, I agree. It's just about scoring. Shout out to Schaffelberg. Hopefully he buries another one. Yeah. Just before we get into predictions about the end of this Copa America and about this game tonight, I just want to end off this talking about of Canada soccer. We obviously have the World Cup coming up, 2026. That's going to be incredible. We've been talking about that for a long time since we won the bid. It's going to be USA, Mexico, and Canada. Obviously, I think we have 2 or 3 locations in Canada that we're going to play at. What are your thoughts on what we need to improve for infrastructure? What do we have? We have 2 years now. We only have 2 years. It's really creeping up on us. I'm going to be trying to score tickets as soon as possible.
I'm going for sure.
Might have to do a live JOGATALKS pod at one of them games. Not going to lie. But great. Yeah, just tell me about what we're missing to really, like, be one of those powerhouses that you're talking about. Obviously, it's not going to happen in 2 years. I mean, man, if it does, God bless. But what do you think? What's your excitement about the World Cup? Where does it root from?
Well, I mean, excitement is the wrong word. I don't really know what to expect. You know, I never would have thought that this would actually be a reality, that we would be able to experience a World Cup here. But I think we have the resources, right? As I've said, I just think that we, as a nation, as a continent, need to band together and sort of come to an agreement and come to an alliance in the promotion of football, right? Why can't we share resources with Mexico to grow football and make everything that has to do with football more sophisticated in Mexico, right? And of course, Mexico's a third world country, but why can't we, you know, allow them some of our resources to grow football there, and they can give us some of their knowledge. We can maybe exchange knowledge for resources, you know, when it comes to football there, because obviously we know how raw the Mexican culture is systems. When it comes to football. You know, and why can't we just come together to make football as a, you know, as a group, you know, better in North America, better, you know, more beneficial, more, you know, and just produce more talent.
You see this more as an opportunity to collaborate. Because we're co-hosting.
Well, I mean, I was reading this book not too long ago, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And my biggest takeaway from it was interdependence and how important that is when it comes to becoming successful. And I mean, let me just turn this into a life lesson. In order to achieve anything great, like North America, or I'll speak for Canada, Canada would be basically starting from ground. I mean, they're obviously not starting from ground zero, but let's look at it this way, because they have a mountain to climb in becoming a giant in football. In order to achieve anything great, you can't do it on your own. Canada isn't going to do it on their own. So we need to band together, right? Like obviously we have, you know, access to Germany, right? We have access to obviously Mexico and the United States. We need to band together and grow Canadian football. You know, they're not going to do it on their own.
Help, I agree. You got to put your glasses on because that was cooked.
What did I say?
When you said Canada was absolutely cooked. That was. We can all agree.
No.
Absolutely.
I picked that up too, but I didn't think it was cooked. Okay, I like that. Okay, let's get predictions then.
Let's get some predictions.
I want to get predictions from the Euros and the Copa America. They're both in the semis. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately we just had a game just now. I think you know who won already.
They won, eh?
Yeah. Spain got the dub, so they're going to the final.
Love to see it from
Yamal,
yo,
legend.
Victor, Guille, all my boys.
Vamos. Okay, so then second game, England, Netherlands. Who you got going to the final?
I don't need to do this. These are my boys.
No, you have to.
Holland and England are my boys.
Ooh,
shout out Trent.
Nice.
Shout out Trent. Shout out Jude. Shout out D. Sturridge.
Shout out D. Sturridge. They don't know about D. Sturridge. They don't know about D. Sturridge.
Shout out Jordan.
8-2-1. Sturridge and I've scored.
Shout out my boys.
This guy could be the biggest Liverpool fan ever, bro.
What's good?
Southgate own goal.
What's good? Shout out my boys. Shout out Gakpo. Shout out Van Dijk. You know. Shout out Memphis. Shout out Javi Simmons.
Yo, I know.
Honestly, I would be happy with either Netherlands or England. Spain, Netherlands, or England final. Yeah. I am so happy. I'm gonna watch it. I will stop what I'm doing and I will watch that final.
1, who do you think's gonna win? 2.
Wow.
Sorry, so you said Spain, Netherlands, or Spain?
No, I haven't said anything.
He hasn't said anything yet.
Netherlands, England.
Really analyze it in your head. I know you haven't been watching the games.
To analyze.
I know, but I can tell you right now, they're still playing that slow, old, boring Southgate style. They're scraping out wins. Jude had to score an incredible bike to win.
Simmons.
And this I'm going to tell you because I know Elliott loves Netherlands.
Van Dijk, Stones,
I know he loves Netherlands.
Saka.
They're playing the best football they've played, I think.
Who?
Netherlands.
They are
the best football.
They are, but in the group stage, they're both similar. In the group stage, they were both playing bad. England played really good when they changed the formation last game, and Netherlands destroyed their opponents in the.
Let me just put it this way.
I want to hear this.
I don't want to predict. Do I have to predict?
You have to predict.
I'll just predict.
You can say who you
I'll just take favorites at the end.
Yeah.
But let me put it this way, okay? I believe in grit. Yeah?
Yeah.
I have a saying that goes, in order to get what you want, you have to do what you want once.
I like that.
And there are players on the English national team who are itching
In it, bruv.
for their chance.
Yeah. And playing different positions.
Itching.
It's itchy, in it, bruv.
Right? And I can be petty.
It's an itchy one.
Right? I can be petty.
Oh, Philly Foden.
The most recent documentary that just came out with David Beckham,
I saw that.
if you are
God, he has good hair.
if you are astute and if you are observant and if you genuinely want to grow, learn and progress as an Englishman, as an English young footballer, you would have noticed petty things, little things in that documentary. Some of these English talents are as good as we've ever seen.
Yeah, for sure.
Bukayo Saka is as good as we've ever seen.
Man, that
Jude
goal.
Bellingham,
That goal last
and without
It's a pure
I was about to say
finish.
something so
It's a
offside.
pure finish, bro.
Without because obviously Jude is a very
Yes.
you know
Yeah.
is a generational talent, right? So without getting weird, Jude Bellingham is as good as we've ever seen.
Yeah.
And some of these guys, I feel, genuinely want to get to that level. Phil Foden, Mark Gehi, do not sleep on Mark Gehi. Ivan Toney.
Yeah.
So if you guys need me to predict, I'm just going to go with England just because I think that in support of that argument, I think that they have a couple more kids
Yeah, they just
who really want it. Cole Palmer.
Yeah.
Wow. So I'll go with England.
Okay. And then in the final, who you got?
I'm going to go England.
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 All the
Take
way.
it.
It's coming
Have them
home.
Take it.
1-0, park
coming
the bus,
home.
park
No,
the bus.
Sorry. No. I'll take that back. If England make it to the
Spain.
final, if
Yeah.
England make it to the
Spain
final,
is
I'll say Spain.
Say Spain.
If England make it to the final, I'll say Spain.
I think so too.
Spain is crushing them.
But
I'm with you.
I want England to win.
What,
Okay.
give me a Spain. What do we just give it?
I got too many Jamaicans on that team. I got to support mine.
Yeah,
No,
that's
can
right,
we
that's
agree
right.
a little, maybe like a 3-1 Spain? Or are we saying it's like a 2-1
don't be crazy,
Spain?
don't be crazy.
See, like it was
You think it's
2-1.
like a
1-1
1-1?
penalties. 1-1
It was
penalties.
2. No,
Oh
it's gonna be
my-
a gritty game. It's gonna be 1-0, 1-1.
Too many penalties.
Something
I
like
can't. My
that.
heart can't take it.
1-1.
I'm young.
it's
I've
gonna
been
be-
eating at the bar to Banker every day.
Yeah. I think it's gonna be a
Recently,
good
my
game.
heart
though.
can't take it.
There was nothing to see in the group stages and in these
I'm gonna
knockout
croak.
rounds,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
the
yeah.
final is going to be exciting.
Yeah, I think the finals gonna be good. I think France just plays like an open style of football, and that's what
I'm-
allowed
I'm-
Spain to come back. So I think England is gonna be.
And Mbappe's also not on his game. He broke his
Exactly.
nose, unfortunately.
One's
We
gonna
saw
be-
what he did in the World Cup final.
I'm gonna say 2-1
Anyways,
final
nothing to say
final
about
game
that.
prediction for me is gonna be 2-1 Spain in the final. They score in extra time.
Yo,
I don't know how it's gonna happen if it's the young stars
Yo, 1-0,
or if it's
1-0.
another Merino.
1-0 Spain.
A
1-0
golazo, joder, tío, Merino.
Nah,
I don't
1-0
know what
Spain.
we're gonna get going there. Tío,
Morata,
joder,
Morata,
tío.
Morata.
Coge el taxi. Shout out my Spanish gang.
Crazy.
All right, listen, we gotta wrap this one up. We've been going so long. No, we haven't been going that long.
Nah.
But this is all you guys can handle because this is too fire. You know what I mean? So we're gonna wrap this up with a score prediction for this game, the most legendary Canadian soccer game in our history so
when
far.
we're filming, the game's tonight, by the way, just so you guys know.
We're
We're
watching
filming
it
it right
right
before
after
the
this
game.
pod.
Right
Right
before the
after
game.
this pod, we're gonna watch the game
Yes, sir.
and we're gonna be screaming. We're gonna be screaming at that telly. So what is your score prediction, Elliot? Go.
Quick time.
Don't say quick time.
Quick time, FaceTime.
I have to. Messi, man, I love Messi, but I have to go. I'm going to go.
I think he's glitching out.
I'm going to go.
He's glitching. System error.
I'm gonna go 2-1 Canada, Jonathan David.
I like that.
David.
Leaves. I love it.
I'd
D-
snap in a game
DD?
like this, and I gotta
DD?
respect my boy.
Did
Yeah.
you snap off just like Collins Cup?
As much, yeah.
Weird.
I mean, as much as I want to do it, I don't know if I can. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta
Hey,
do it.
you
You gotta do
gotta-
it.
Yeah.
Energy's a real thing.
Yeah,
You
you're
gotta
right.
do
You're
it.
right. Energy is a good
You gotta
thing.
do it.
I think okay. I think genuinely I thought this earlier today. I think it's a 0-0. Just by the style of play, Argentina, Canada, like not that they won't attack a lot, but they'll counter and they counter really well. Argentina hasn't scored a first half I think they've scored one first half goal so far.
They've been
So game's going to
lacking.
be a battle, in my opinion. I'm going to say 0-0, so it goes straight to pens. And then Canada's winning 4-3 in pens.
Pens is crazy.
Straight to pens.
Against Martinez,
Get some excited.
too, that is a very
Get some
crazy.
excitement
going.
If that happened, man, I take
Get some
all my
excitement
clothes
going.
off, paint myself red, go run around. No, I'm gonna say here that we have like a really deadlock game because that's what I've been seeing from Argentina. They've been struggling to score, and we tired them out really well. And I think we're gonna really double down on that. We're gonna press even harder, but playing within ourselves and not just giving them opportunities. But I think we're gonna tire them out. And we've been having a hard time finishing, but we've been creating a lot of chances. I say we go 0-0 all the way, and we score another, opportune goal that we've been doing, because that's how we got through the group stage with one goal. I'm going to say 1-0 Canada. Everyone has their jaw dropped, and somehow we're just in the final, and all of a sudden we're like, what's up? Canada soccer, pull up. Elliott Cuthbert, 2026, 2020.
Against Uruguay?
2030. Whatever you want to see. We'll get Didi on there. We'll get me on the mic. We'll be like announcing Canada at the World Cup
Crazy.
as the favorites.
I like that.
No, we're not there yet, but that's what I'm going to say. Thank you so much for having Elliott on the pod today. Thank you, Elliott. We're going to continue on some other stuff. We're just going to wrap on this segment, but we're going to get into some very interesting topics on the part 2 of this. So please tune in.
Yes, sir.
Stop lacking. And, JOGATALKS, baby. Lock in.
Get it.